Hey everybody, just wanted to take a minute today to talk about OCD and kind of I would call like the grit of OCD. If you can just make sure you like and subscribe down at the bottom, and then put any questions or comments about anything you want me to go over in the future. So the reason why I want to really talk about grit is because I guess the biggest way I can really compare it to is like, so with my sales job that I have, I've been doing cold call sales for over 10 years, and we always would we would have a motto. It's called, KISS, keep it super simple. And people who were doing sales a lot of times initially, with not really knowing a lot but just being motivated, would get a lot of success. They would initially be very motivated, and they would be super enthusiastic and even do things that made them uncomfortable a little bit more because they were seeing so much progress. And then what happens is, over time, they would gain a ton of knowledge, and then what would happen is they would end up doing too much, saying too much, or the knowledge that they had, they were trying to scramble it around and figure out what works best instead of keeping it super simple. And a lot of times I think, people that have been in recovery for a long time, they'll get in a position where, they've read all the books, they've gone through a lot of situations, they've learned a lot of things, and, they still can have setbacks occasionally. And, you'll be in situations where, because all the information, you're trying to figure everything out, you're trying to understand it, and, you're really trying to put yourself in a situation where you're always going to feel good, or trying your best to, because you've had such a long period of that happening. And the biggest thing I'll say is, like OCD, really, like for recovery, there is grit involved. And you can still be uncomfortable and be recovered. You can still have anxiety and be recovered. And there's going to be times where you may know everything about OCD. Maybe you're super educated. Maybe you've had years and years of just really good times, and then all of a sudden it just happens. It's just one of those things, right? It's a part of the process. It's a part of life. And I think the most important thing to do, like, and remember in those times, is that you're human, you're fallible, and life is going to be uncomfortable sometimes, and it's a process, and it's different for everybody, and you can't compare yourself to anybody, because long term, you're going to continue to learn, and you're going to continue to grow, and there might be times where that knowledge and information can maybe not be helpful. And what I'll tell you is, keep it simple. A lot of people with OCD, it's this big thing where it's like, oh, this big complicated crazy thing to recover, and it's really not. It does take a while. Key things, you gotta work on the beliefs. And then for me, for example, I will sometimes still have body sensations for no apparent reason. I will be uncomfortable, I will be anxious, and I'm not having any rumination or like internal thermometer or any mental compulsions, and it'll just happen sometimes. And I will just bring it for the ride. And a lot of OCD recovery, and the grit part, is that it's bringing it for the ride and being willing to be uncomfortable and living your life. And that's, for me, that is the grit of OCD. It's bringing it for the ride. And the biggest thing I'll tell you, if you're in a situation where you're feeling good and you're doing really well, just know that there's always a possibility that something could happen, and that's okay. That's just a part of it. And it's just it's a really fun process. And I would say for me, the times that I've been uncomfortable, in the past, would really maybe cause me issues, and now I'm at a point where when it happens, sometimes I can get upset or irritated, but for the most part, it's almost like an opportunity, and it's exciting to be able to put myself in a situation where I'm uncomfortable, because that's where the learning happens. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys today, and I hope you have a great day.